So you didn't get into Y Combinator or Techstars. Well, there's still some good news. There are other startup accelerators out there, and I'm going to tell you about the one that I've done. My co-founders and I decided back in 2019 to apply to an equity-free, founder-friendly startup lab, and that is the Founder-Friendly Labs, FFL, joinffl.com. And the people involved are really, really cool. And they have an extremely high rate of acquisition and exit. So basically, it's a very small investment of time up front. Essentially, I just spent one weekend in Palo Alto in late 2019. And then ongoing contribution, not much, but really the big benefit is equity-free. And also you don't have to spend a lot of time. So I've made some really great friends in this group. I've had follow-up conversations, phone calls with other founders. It's been interesting to hear from the vast experience of this group. There are people that have worked at Facebook, Google, have had successful startups and exits. And it's a really refreshing opportunity, especially if you're like an outsider. So our company is based in Phoenix, Arizona. So being part of this group in Palo Alto is awesome because we kind of can tap into the Silicon Valley network. And that's been hugely beneficial. One of the big benefits that you get from being part of FFL is the cloud hosting credits. So either AWS, S3, or Google. So we chose to take the AWS credits, and our fee for entering was about $6,500. I think now it's $7,000 up front. However, as they say, cash is a lot less expensive than equity, especially when you get potentially $50,000 to $100,000 back in AWS. Now, I don't think it's that high now, unless you currently have an invoice. If you're currently paying AWS $4,000 a month, I could be wrong. $4,000 a month is your current expenditure, then I think you can get like 100K AWS credits. If you're just starting out fresh, you have like nothing built, you're just in MVP stage, then you can get like 25K. But still, do the math. It's a good return on investment. Okay, so there's this great article on Inc. Called 12 Expert Tips on How to Get into an Accelerator. I think this is really good advice. And I wanted to touch on this lightly just to share some of my experience with this particular founder accelerator group. And this being an equity-free one, there's different dynamics at play here, but I think these principles are the same. So number one, making sure your business idea is a big one. You have to talk about the total addressable market, the TAM, as they say. Number two, really important that you have an MVP in place, having your minimum viable product ready to go and actually in use, ideally with customers. Number three here, execute to the point where you're getting traction. Ultimately, you're trying to show them some sort of growth. So when we entered FFL, we had a pretty significant clip of growth, a lot of really good stories. So actual solid revenue coming in, but also some amazing stories from users. The majority, I would say, of people that I talked with, they had their first deal on paper, but they didn't have that revenue realized or whatever. I think we were one of the few platforms that were in there that had like significant numbers, like thousands plus number of users. You have to build a team, of course. If you're just one person and you're trying to sell this idea, you have to demonstrate that you're able to rally a team of people. And so that was one of my main functions early on with our platform, was just to kind of find the right players and get the right people in place. And I'm certainly not the technical co-founder. Thank goodness I've got an amazing technical co-founder who understood the architecture and could build the thing, but also finding help with all areas of the business. So that's a really critical step of getting into an accelerator of your choice, is showing your ability to find a team, attract good people that can work together and collaborate and move forward in some meaningful way. Number 5, network heavily. Positive referral from mentors and founders who have already gone through the program is the best way to get noticed. I think that's cool. That wasn't necessary for in our case. Nail your interview. This is important. I kind of alluded to the stories that are or can be important. That's like real user stories. The interview, I think, with FFL, I think is probably way less intense than Y Combinator or Techstars. Certainly, we presented well. Again, using real stories, real customers, real stories that can help you really show well in the interview. Number 7, once accepted, make friends within the accelerator. I've had phone calls with some of the founders that I met that weekend in Palo Alto. Making friends in the group is really, really important, and it's been valuable to have these relationships. Okay, number 8 in this article is be honest with yourself and everyone else. Prioritize growth. You want more users and revenue every month. When your month-over-month numbers are high, you're in a better position to offer excellent theater during your demo day. Yeah, so when you're demoing your product with your accelerator, show your stats in a truthful, positive light. It's what you want to do. You want to kind of show momentum and show growth and show interest. Close your fundraising round as soon as possible. Vanderbrand suggests allotting 6 months to complete your fundraising, but aim to do it in the first month. Be ultra efficient with your time. Yeah, we're not playing that game currently. The co-founders and I really, really like the autonomy that we have with not having to answer to a VC or angel investor, although I really am flattered when people reach out. And then last couple of bits of advice here: transition the CEO role. Try to find people that can help you achieve your vision. This is your final and unending responsibility to keep the business growing so you can get to your next round, which will be sooner than you think. So having flexibility and autonomy with a software as a service is really important, especially if you're in this early stage, if you're kind of like MVP stage. And if you're just wanting to figure out like, okay, what would happen if we tried these 5 different things? So again, just to wrap it up, I really like founder-friendly labs, very founder-friendly as the name entails, very low time commitment, great network of people, great cloud credits you can get. I think their deadline coming up for this spring class is like in 3 days. I don't know if you catch this video before then, definitely apply or look forward to the next one. But hopefully that's some good information for you. If you're looking for getting into an accelerator group, I think it's an amazing opportunity. It'll help you succeed tremendously with your startup venture, your SaaS platform, or whatever startup you have. Good luck.